Back! Oh, she's back. Maybe. Is she back? I don't know. Is she back? There she is.
I'm here.
Perri Goldstein is back, ladies and gentlemen. I could cry. I'm so happy. 2 days without you, Perri. It was like a desert. You are like an oasis in a time where the world is falling apart. It is just good to have a little bit of normalcy. And that means Perri Goldstein's here for CheeseheadTV's live Packers Trivia. Welcome, one and all. Thank you for joining us. Trivia Wednesdays. That's right, Joy the Jaguar. That's the hashtag I like to see. Welcome back, Perri. Brenton knows what's up. Brenton, ready to dominate here at CheeseheadTV live Packers Trivia. Speaking of trivia, live, how does one play? Why don't you tell them, Perri? The newcomers, the old-timers, tell them all how it works.
Yeah, I hope there's some new people here today. So basically, we're going to give you 10 questions. You have about 30 seconds to answer each question, but you want to do it as fast as possible because the time factors in to where you are on the leaderboard. Every question is going to have 4 multiple-choice answers, and you will answer by hashtagging the first word of the answer that you see. So if it's 2 words, you'll need the first word, but you need the hashtag. 'Cause without the hashtag, it doesn't count, and that's YouTube, not us. Don't blame us if you don't do that. So we're going to show you...
Without the hashtag, it don't mean shit. That's what we're trying to tell you.
Yeah, basically. So we're going to show you the top 5 after every question. We'll show you the leaderboard every few questions.
I mean, maybe. Perri, this is the development since you've been away. We've not had a top 5 after every question.
Oh my gosh.
It's been broken. So who knows?
I'm gone for a few days and everything falls apart.
Sally, our new producer here at LiveX with CheeseheadTV Trivia, because we've had a new producer every day, Sally in my ear tells me it might work today. So we'll see.
I believe in you, Sally.
It probably will because Perri is here. Perri's here, so everything should be fine. That's how we roll. When Perri's here, it's great. When it's just Aaron, it sucks. So here we go.
I highly doubt that, but we're gonna play.
That is
It'll be fun.
The evidence is there. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna start us off with the first question. Who was Brett Favre's backup in Super Bowl 31? Was it Doug Peterson, Jim McMahon, Ty Detmer, or Matt Hasselbeck? Doug Peterson, Jim McMahon, Ty Detmer, or Matt Hasselbeck. Don't forget, you only need to hashtag the first word. First name in this instance. That's all you need. Perri, where were you watching this game?
I was almost 2 years old on my dad's lap.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about. That's like
he just told that story on the podcast this week.
He did indeed. By the way, as we're waiting for the answers here, anybody who hasn't checked out the Father's Day edition of Pax What She Said, holy Mother Mary of God, go check it out. It's outstanding. Maggie and Perri talk to their dads about the Packers, how they became fans. It's phenomenal. I cannot recommend it enough.
Yeah,
it was so.
It was very special because they're the reason why we love the team and we love football. So.
And I will say, I just want to have a beer with your dad. Like, I don't need you to be there. Like, you can just intro us and we can just hang out. But, like, I want to have a beer with your dad. Yeah. That needs to happen.
Hopefully you will up at Lambeau this season.
That's what I'm talking about. All right. Sally tells me we got the results. So, Perri, why don't you give us the answer?
Okay. Bears icon McMahon was indeed Brett Favre's backup in '96 and actually wore his Bears jersey when the Packers visited the White House. That's rude. McMahon did so because 2 days after his Bears won the Super Bowl, the Challenger space shuttle exploded, thus canceling the Bears' trip to the White House in 1986. As a result, McMahon wore his Bears jersey to the White House in 1997 with the Packers. Okay.
See, that's not, I kind of respect that. I really do. I love Jim McMahon for everything he was during the 80s. Clearly, he was an all-time Bear, so you kind of hate him. The fact that he was Favre's backup is hilarious. Yeah. Andy Reid tells some great Jim McMahon stories. But yeah, wearing the Bears jersey. There's a great picture of him with Bill Clinton in the White House in his Bears jersey after winning a Super Bowl ring with the Packers. It's hilarious.
That's like the
it's
ultimate
awesome.
troll.
It is, and that's Jim. That's McMahon. It's phenomenal. All right, Sally, who knew what? When did they know it? Give us the top 5, if you can. Oh, look at that! We got it! Brenton. I knew you'd be on that, Brenton. Brenton's like, yo, I'm the man. I dominate this. Let's start out hot. And look, Ann. What's up, Ann? Good to see you. Big Daddy Cool Breeze at number 4. Strong start from our group here. Perri, give us the next question.
Okay. How many Packers players served in World War II? 17, 31, 47, or 13? This is such an interesting question.
I will tell you, when I research for these questions, obviously every day I'm like kind of finding new stuff to talk about, and especially now that we're months into doing trivia, trying to find little niche things, whatever. This period and the idea of guys going over to serve, what that did to the league, like it's fascinating. It's amazing. It's incredible. And I will say, quick plug, check out Extra Cheese tonight, my Packers chat at 6:30 Eastern. I'm going to be talking about Mark Beach's book, The People's Team, where I got this information. It's so fascinating. It's just, that whole period is incredible.
It sounds interesting.
But yeah, it is. And like, it puts lots of things into perspective about what happened during that time in the league, the Packers' place in it. It's pretty great. So, of course, here's the answer. According to the Pro Football Chronicle, a total of 638 people from the NFL, players, coaches, and management, served in World War II. 31 of them were Packers players, including guard Howard Smiley Johnson, who lost his life in 1945 during the fight for Iwo Jima. He was the only Packers player to lose his life in World War II, but 31 Packers served in World War II. All right, Sally.
That's a large number.
It's crazy, right? Who knew what? When did they know it? Jack.
Wow, quick answers.
That was a super quick. I love that the delineation between 1 and 2 is 0.4 seconds. That's pretty impressive. Mark Pearson, Jared Craig, Christopher Lee. I love that all of these answers are from pretty much, not Christopher Lee I've seen before, but a lot of these are non-regulars who clearly know their Packers history and clearly are joining us here on CheeseheadTV. Thank you, one and all, for hanging out and answering some Packers trivia questions. Let's not go to a leaderboard just yet. Let's get 3 in before we do the leaderboard. We'll get to the next question. Rockwood Lodge was the training facility of the Packers from 1946 to 1950. On January 24th, 1950, it caught fire and burned to the ground. Only a sofa and one other item survived. What was that other item? Was it a photo of Curly Lambeau, a doll, insurance papers, or a butter knife? And remember, you see the hashtags on your screen. Use those hashtags. Was it a photo of Curly Lambeau? It's amazing, right? It's
so Mina Kimes on ESPN Daily did a whole episode on this story, and it was fantastic. I mean, everything she touches is gold, but yes, this especially. Fair.
But yes, she did a whole daily on it. It was funny because she and I were DMing back and forth about possibly coming on CheeseheadTV to talk about it, but schedules being what they are. Never really happened.
She is my ultimate, role model, girl crush.
Her interview with Rogers for ESPN the magazine a couple years ago was phenomenal.
So good.
It was great.
Yeah.
I have to give Rogers shit though, because he goes and talks to a Seahawks fan, but won't come talk to the Packers. I get it. I understand. what's up.
She's Mina Kimes.
Why don't you tell them? Yeah, that's fine. That's great. She's Mina Kimes. I'm a Packers fan who will be here long after Rodgers is gone. That's all I'm saying. I'm diehard. Just who do you choose to talk to? That's all I'm saying. All right. Why don't you give the folks at home an answer?
All right. A sofa and a photo of Curly Lambeau were all that survived the fire, which ended up providing a significant boost to the team's financial outlook once they received the insurance money. Instead of rebuilding the facility, the team used the insurance money, funds from a special Thanksgiving Day intra-squad game, and a stock sale to return the team to profitability.
That tells you the fact that they needed all three of those to get back to a profit tells you how kind of in dire straits they were at that time.
So glad they saved themselves.
And for the record, there has always been a long-standing kind of wives' tale / urban legend that it was done on purpose, that they did that to get the insurance money. Yeah. That has been proven false multiple times throughout various methods. So I just wanted to get that out there. All right, Sally. Who knew what? When did they know it? On the Rockwood Lodge fire. Jared Craig said, "What's up?" Christopher Lee, my boy. Love it at 9.6. At 2. Joy the Jaguar says, "What's up?" B. Grice going hello. Black Swan, we haven't seen you in a while. What's going on? All right, let's take a look at our first kind of collection for the top 10. Let's see the leaderboard. Sally. Let's see how people are doing. See where we are. Jack Earney going, "I know all three answers. What's up, all you other pretenders?" Now, Jack, I hate to tell you this, but your average time is suspect. So you miss one question and you're in trouble. But if you keep getting them right, you got the driver's seat. But on top of that, look at this. A bunch of new people. I will say, not a lot of regulars here. Other than
I'd love
Brenton.
To see it. Welcome.
Brenton throws down every week, every day. He knows what's up. He's a hardcore Packers fan. Give us the next question, Perri.
All right. Which NFL team gave Ron Wolf his first job in pro football? Was it the Packers, the Buccaneers, the Jets, or the Raiders? So Packers, Bucks, Jets, or Raiders?
Fine institutions all. Well, some more than
There's
others.
One that's above the rest, I'd say.
I guess so. I'll have to endeavor to research and figure out which organization you might be talking about. But yes, I don't know. Tend to agree. There probably is one that's better than the rest. I don't know. I just can't figure it out. Maybe one that is better than all the others. I'm not sure.
Clay,
I don't know. Wait. So how did Dad like the signed Clay Matthews helmet?
Oh my God!
Did he freak out?
He's not a very emotive guy, so for him, yes, he freaked out. But he asked me to take a photo, and I swear I've never seen he looks. I'll have to send it to you. He looks so happy.
He's so happy. I can't wait to see it. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, so to give the answer. Ron Wolf began his career as a scout for the Raiders in 1963 after he was recommended to Al Davis by Ted Elbert, one of the editors of Pro Football Illustrated, RIP, where Wolf worked for a short time after serving in the Army and then going to college. He worked at Pro Football Illustrated. Basically, he wrote a couple articles, but Elbert was so impressed by Ron Wolf's instant memory, his ability to recall any player at any time, at any position. So Al Davis literally called Ted Elbert and said, "I need someone who's good with names for my scouting department." And literally Elbert said, "Okay, there's this kid, Ron Wolf. He's great, blah, blah, blah." That's how Ron got the job with the Raiders. I love
and literally went on to create a branch of football.
A dynasty.
Yeah.
And literally created how the Packers and a number of other teams go about scouting players.
It's wild.
That's amazing. It's just amazing.
Great football mind.
All right, Sally. Who knew what? When did they know it? Glenn Barb was like, "What's up?" Christopher Lee and kicking some serious ass. Jack knew it. Jack keeps coming on, keeps saying, "What's up, Dave? How you doing?" All right, we're just going to keep rolling. The 5 men who essentially kept the Packers afloat in 1922 and 1923, were known as what? The Hungry Five, the Five Guys, Packers People, or the Football Five? Hungry Five, Five Guys, Packers People, or Football Five? Hungry Guys,
Packers Football.
Hashtags. Got to use the hashtags, people. Only need one word. The Hungry
you
Five.
Gave me a long answer.
What are you talking about? It's not that long. It's kind of long. But there's a lot of information there. This is an important part of Packers history.
This is about learning.
I just want to say, I just love how it's very apparent how you never look at the answers when I send them to you literally hours before we go live.
Okay,
and then
hours.
Just kind of find out as we're going
Today was like
on.
1 hour.
Today was an hour, but usually, traditionally,
I do read them.
Hours.
I do read them. I always read them. You want to know why?
Perri, I'm just saying.
I read them because I need to know if you're getting me with these crazy names that I need to look up before I come on.
But that's it. That's all you look at is the name.
That's not true.
It. You just want to make
sure. All right, let me give the answer.
I am well aware. Give them the answer.
Okay. The Hungry Five are the 5 Green Bay area businessmen who were instrumental in keeping the Packers franchise in operation during its early years. They raised funds, incorporated the team as a nonprofit corporation, big deal, sold stock, established the Packers board of directors, and otherwise promoted the franchise. The Hungry Five consisted of none other than Curly Lambeau, attorney Andrew B. Turnbull, attorney Gerald Francis Clifford, Dr. W. Weber Kelly, and Lee Joannes. Turnbull was the Packers' first president and publisher of the Green Bay Press-Gazette. Joannes was the president for 17 years, helping guide the Packers through the Great Depression, near bankruptcy, and a second stock sale. Kelly served 1 year as president and also as team physician and as a board member. Clifford served on the executive committee for 2 decades. All have been inducted into the Green Bay Packers Hall of Fame, rightly so.
I wanted to put all that in there because it's not a thing. It's not a bunch of information that most, I think, modern Packers fans think about, know about, even comprehend. Like, these 5 individuals saved your team. You would not be Packers fans without them.
They wouldn't exist.
We got to give them their due. That's all.
Well, we gave them their credit.
We most certainly did. You did a great job, Perri. All right, Sally. Who knew what? When did they know it? Glenn Bard. Glenn is like, I will not be denied. But I will say, at number 2, Big Daddy Cool Breeze! Marcus Zim, Christopher Lee, Ryan Kutzek. Hey, anytime I can
Let's
say
look at
Big
the
Daddy
top
Cool
10,
Breeze,
Nagler.
let's do it. I'm all in on that. Where do we stand right now? Jack's got them all right. There, I tell you what, Jack is so hot, he's setting off alarms in your neighborhood. Christopher Lee at number 2. Christopher Lee, leave Sauron to me. Dylan Matthews, Joe, Jared, Ryan, Justin, Kenny, Tom, and Nick. That's a hot-looking group at 10. All right, give us the next question, Perri.
All right. What position did Cal Hubbard play in Green Bay after playing linebacker for the Giants? Was it wide receiver, defensive lineman, running back, or offensive lineman?
Interesting.
This is a very interesting question.
Aaron.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things
say so
that
myself.
I mean, it's one of those things where he's this almost a myth. I mean, he's a mythical figure, I think, in the minds of most Packers fans, where he was so good at everything he did. If you read about his life, he played baseball, he played football, he was amazing at everything.
Just one of those freak athletes.
Absolutely, and he was a integral part in those early Packers kind of championships. So, but he's not a guy that gets talked about a lot. You hear about Curly, obviously, but Johnny Blood, blah blah blah. But Cal Hubbard, very important part of those teams that doesn't get mentioned a whole lot. So obviously. Let's go to the answer here. Lambeau moved Hubbard inside along the defensive line. That's right. He was a defensive tackle. where he went on to become one of the most feared defensive linemen in pro football. With a lifelong dislike for big cities, I love this bit, he didn't feel comfortable in New York, where he was with the Giants, and a 1928 road game in Green Bay. Imagine this. You're a big-time linebacker with the New York Giants in 1928, and you go play a road game at Hagemeister Park in Green Bay. And you're like, this is so much better. I love that.
Yeah.
That led him to request a trade to the Packers. Specifically, not I want a trade. I want to be traded to the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
And then he threatened to retire if he didn't get what he wanted. And then when he arrived under Lambeau, Hubbard, and a team won the NFL title in each of his first 3 years there, from 1929 to 1931. The 1929 team surrendered just 22 points the entire year. Now, obviously, it's like 12 games.
That's
but
wild.
22 points. Lambeau had Hubbard play the line, ending his linebacker days. All right, Sally, who knew what? When did they know it? Ryan. Well, that's a bit of an upset right there. Gunslinger 0492. That's like a Blade Runner in Packers lore right there. There's not a bunch of new names. Deborah, how you doing? What does that do to the top 10? What's that do to our leaderboard? How are we looking, Sally?
Sally, you're killing it right now, I have to say.
Ryan took over. Yeah, Sally's killing. Sally, of all the new producers during this week, Sally's the best, no doubt. Christopher Lee, Dylan, Joe, that's a hot top 5. All right, we're going to the next question. Who scored the first touchdown in Super Bowl 45? Was it Aaron Rodgers, Brandon Jackson, Greg Jennings, or Jordy Nelson?
I'm imagining this, and I already have the chills. I rewatched this game with my dad, like, during quarantine.
What a shock.
It was on Fox.
I was going to say it was on Fox. I remember. I live tweeted some of it. It was lovely.
Everyone was, because there was nothing else to talk about.
There's nothing else to do. Wait, where did you watch it live? Like when it was happening? Where were you?
We were in my basement in the house I grew up in. It was my sister, my dad, and I. And I just remember exactly where I was sitting on the couch, and we ordered in Chinese food because we couldn't leave the couch. So my mom had to bring it downstairs to us.
That's great.
And we sat and we watched together. And I remember when we won, you know, my dad, like I said, he's not a very emotive guy, but he's so happy. And my sister and I just sat on the floor, and we were like, we had just watched our first championship, the first time one of our teams had won a championship in our living memory. So
that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, ate some General Chow's chicken and
General Chow's. That's great. All right, why don't you give him the answer there, Perri?
Okay. Green Bay opened up the scoring with Aaron Rodgers' 29-yard touchdown pass to wide receiver Jordy Nelson, most special connection I've ever seen, who managed to pull slightly ahead of cornerback William Gay enough to make a leaping catch and fall into the end zone.
Big time. And then they had the old jump and thing, whatever. Who knew what? When did they know it? What's up, Sally?
Brett
knew it. Brett was like, okay, enough of this old-timey 1929 bullshit. I know this. Black Swan, Christopher Lee, Jared, Dylan. All right. Let's keep going. Give us the next question there, Perri.
Okay. Which Packers player burned his eyebrows and eyelashes off after he poured gasoline on some kindling and then struck a match in 1995?
By the way, also the same... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Was it Edgar Bennett, Bill Schroeder, Travis Jervey, or Chris Jack?
I will say, I also served this man many times as a salesperson at the Ralph Lauren outlet store in both Appleton and Oshkosh.
That's so random.
Little hyper niche trivia there.
Personal trivia.
This guy was hilarious. He would come into Ralph Lauren all the time. all the time.
That's so random. I love it.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Hey, I'll never forget Brett Favre coming in. I will never forget Brett Favre coming into the polo store and literally throwing polo shirts at people. I want this one. I want that one. I want this one. And I love Brett, but he was such a dick.
Yeah.
That's all I know. That's all I know. I was there. I was also there at the filling station on Tuesday nights, but that's neither here nor there. The obvious answer is Travis Jervey is the guy who burned his freaking eyebrows and eyelashes off, which is hysterical. He was roommates with LaShawn Johnson. They had a lot of fun as roommates. When Travis wasn't burning off his unnecessary body hair, the pair was known to have set up illegal deer snares in their backyard. Somewhat famously, some would say maybe infamously, Jervey once saw a newspaper ad for a female lion, and he and LaShawn split the $1,000 cost and picked up the declawed cub at the airport. They named her Nala after the character from The Lion King. This is all true. Even though Mike Holmgren specifically said no lions when asked about it.
That was a rule
Travis Jervey
that he had to specify.
And LaShawn. Well, it wasn't a rule, but Jervey asked about, like, I'm going to get this lion. Holmgren said, yeah, no, dog, you're not getting a lion. And Travis Jervey and LaShawn Johnson were like, yeah, no,
just kidding, we're going to do it anyway. Nice.
Good times. Good times. Good times all around. All right, Sally, who knew what? When did they know it? Brenton throwing down with the Travis Jervey trivia. Pac-Man Jake. That's quite a name. B. Grice. Big Daddy Coop Breeze. Oh, Kevin, what's up, buddy? What's that do to our top 10? How we doing? Where are we at, Sally? Ryan, we got a new number one. Oh, no. Oh, who was it that just, like, dropped totally off the face of the earth? Justin, Nick, Big Daddy Cool Breeze at 9, Brenton at 8. It's tight, people. It is tight. We're 7 in. We got, what, we've only got,
No, we're 8 in. We got 2 more.
8 in. We got 2 more to go. That's pretty hot. All right, next question. Who did the Packers play in their first NFL game? The Columbus Panhandles, the Minneapolis Marines, the Akron Pros, or the Dayton Triangles? Okay,
what a horrible name.
To be clear, Dayton literally named their professional football club the Triangles.
I don't.
I guess the Dayton trapezoids was taken. I don't know.
At least trapezoids are like, I don't know, they lean, they're unique.
We called ourselves the Triangle. I will say, researching this question, like the names of these clubs.
Yeah, they're ridiculous.
When the NFL was like first like a thing, it was hilarious.
I mean, the Columbus Panhandles, like no one wants to be known as a panhandle.
They're the Columbus Panhandles. I don't know.
But like Ohio doesn't even have a panhandle.
If you go to CheeseheadTV, the game matrix, we have every game the Packers ever played against any team that was in existence while the Packers played them. The Panhandles are included. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Well, after the Packers joined the American Professional Football Association in 1921, which was then renamed the NFL in 1922, Green Bay then played their first official league game on October 23rd, 1921, with a 7-6 win over the Minneapolis Marines in Green Bay's Hagermeister Park. And as always, we are winning over Minneapolis.
Been kicking the fucking Minnesota ass since 1921, people.
Love to see
it. The first game ever the Packers ever played in the NFL, they kicked Minnesota's butt.
Minnesota couldn't even get an extra
point. They kicked
point.
their butt. That's all I'm saying. All right, Sally. Who knew what? When they know it?
Brandy
Lewis! Throw it down! Say what's up! I love it. B.
Hey,
Bryce, Jonathan, Black. Oh, this is hot. All right. What's our top 10 look? What's the leaderboard look like going into the final question. Ryan says, what's up, Dylan? Big Daddy Cool Breeze at 3. Big Daddy, you could win it, Big Daddy Cool Breeze. Let me tell you right now. Let me just tell everyone right now. Let me dispel some notions before they fester into fact. If Big Daddy Cool Breeze wins this game tonight, I will lose my mind. Because Big Daddy Cool Breeze is a regular contributor and or player of Cheesehead TV's live trivia. I don't know if he's ever won. He or she, I don't know. Maybe it's a woman sitting behind there going, I'm Big Daddy Cool Breeze. But I don't know. But whoever you are, I am rooting for you. You are one question off.
Favorites.
I'm not playing fair. I'm just rooting. I have no control. Sally, the producer, has all the control. So Sally, if you know what I'm saying, just make Big Daddy Cool Breeze.
You want me to give him the last question?
You think Big Daddy Cool Breeze is your...
Yeah, of course. Don't roll your eyes at me, lady. I know you have, drinks with friends afterwards, but let's go. All right, give him the last question.
You have plans too, all right?
That is correct. That is correct.
Which Packers player was ejected for pushing Walter Payton over the bench in 1985? Was it Ken Stills, Mosey Cade, Mark Lee, or Charles Martin?
It's Mossy Cade, but you did it well otherwise. Mossy Cade.
I was so close. I was almost at 100.
You were good. No, it's good. You were good. You were good. You did very well. I'm very impressed.
Thank you.
I'm out of beer, which is the worst place to
I'm almost done, and...
So, finish, people, because I need to go get more beer.
He does. He needs a beer. Yeah.
The worst way. This is long before you were born, but I will say, this game was... And it does live on in Packer lore as, the dirtiest game probably the Packers ever played.
Mm-hmm. Naturally,
Forrest Gregg.
Mm-hmm.
Forrest Gregg hated the Bears. He hated Mike Ditka.
Mm-hmm.
And he instilled in his guys, just beat them up, just kill them, or whatever. And it was very apparent by their play on the field. So obviously, it was Mark Lee, who was usually a pretty mild-mannered player, especially to some of the guys on the other team, especially compared to some of the other guys on the team. He rode Sweetness out of bounds and over the bench after a 5-yard gain by Peyton in the first quarter. Mark Lee was promptly ejected. All right, Sally, who knew what? When did they know it? On the dirty play from the Packers. Andrew View was like, I've been sitting back here doing nothing. I don't know nothing. I'm just hanging out. And then oh, wait, I'll just kill this question in 0.8 seconds. Black Swan says, what's up? And regular going, what's up, Kenny, Jitsu. All right, what does that do to our top 10? What's the final leaderboard bragging rights for 24 hours? Ryan! Big Daddy Cool Breeze, you were one away, buddy. I was pulling for you. Joe, Justin, Nick, top 5. That's a hot group. Thanks to everybody for hanging out with us. Ryan, you get the bragging rights for 24 hours until we have our final trivia of the week tomorrow afternoon. Same bat time, same bat channel. Perri, is there anything you would like to add or impart wisdom-wise to our fellow Packers fans out there?
No, I'm just happy to see some new faces. I hope you enjoy trivia as much as we enjoy giving you the facts. We will be around, I think it's Tuesday through Thursday going forward with changes. We'll let you know on Twitter.
I think it's Monday through Thursday.
Monday through Thursday?
We'll
okay.
see.
Well, either way, most nights you can find us here. I'm going to plug my podcast real quick because Pax What She Said has been really fun recently. We've got another guest episode coming up this week that I really, really think everyone's going to enjoy. We're going to have some fun stuff coming up as well. My co-host, Maggie Loney, is the best. She is the cheese queen. So check us out.
The cheese queen. Oh, that is phenomenal. And I echo all of this. Check it out. It'll be up tomorrow at CheeseheadTV and wherever you get your podcasts. Pax What She Said. Check it out. Perri, thank you. Everyone out there on YouTube land, thank you. Love you guys. Go Pack Go. Have a good night.
Go Pack Go.